Hello everyone, Derek's Damn Toys, and we are back with another action figure review. Today, we've actually got a duo review as we've got the Unrivaled Series 16 Colten and Austin Gunn, also known as the Gun Club and or the Ass Boys. And while I'm definitely pretty excited to get into these, though, let's be quite honest here, if I didn't end up getting one of these guys canceled on me originally, I would have been a little bit happier with my purchase here, as I originally had gotten Colten Gunn for like $16 after shipping and all that. So I would have been saving a little bit more than $4, I think, compared to like retail for any AEW figure as far as the normal ones go, because I don't think they sell them for different prices, and if they do, well, they're kind of stupid for that. But I digress. Yeah, seller canceled. I guess he sold it on eBay. So then I had to go hunting, figuring out what would be the best deal, since I already had purchased this one with the preparation of having this one for so cheap. And I wasn't going to just cancel on this one because this one had already shipped, so I kind of dug myself a little hole, diggy hole. Anyway, why don't I just shut up and we can get into this Austin and Colten Gunn action figure review. Now, I will say, just before we do get into that, though, I do have the Konosuke and the Orange Cassidy from this. Maybe one of these days I'll get the rest of the wave, as I do want the rest of this wave, I can't lie. The Julia Hart would be great, knowing that I have the House of Black, and I do have Sky Blue, so, I would have both the females that were in the House of Black as well. But I digress. Let's get into this action figure review now, shall we? Alrighty, you guys. Now that we've got Colten and Austin Gunn out of their plastic prisons, why don't we go over the figures, but most importantly, we can go over their accessories. And first and foremost, they both do come with a set of AEW Tag Champions. A individual AEW Tag Championship to make a set, I should say. Might be one of my more favorite looks on the Tag Team Championships, I'm not gonna lie, as I feel like the other versions of the tag titles that came out before this kind of look a little weird, but not bad, but I don't know. Maybe if I pulled them out I wouldn't think as bad of them, but to me, these ones might be my favorite looks out of all the versions of the tag titles they put out throughout the 16 waves on the Unrivaled side, and more now. But I don't know. It don't really fucking matter. I'm not trying to keep up with all the numbers and stuff. But both men do come with two different sets of interchangeable hands, as you can see. Both men have a gun hand for the right arm, and they both have a fist hand, and they both have grapple hands. His one grapple hand is more of a microphone holding hand, though, on the Austin Gunn, which is kind of interesting to think about, but that's kind of where the similarities end amongst the two. Colten, he does get a little bit more. Of course, you get his entrance pieces, which he does come with a pretty nice set of glasses. They kind of look like the Juice Robinson glasses, but they got purple faces on them instead. Looking really nice and snazzy there. And then you've got this headband that matches with the attires that both men have. And now that we've got all the accessories out of the way, we can go over the figures themselves. And first things first, I guess we can go over Colten. We finished off the accessories with him, so we can start with him, I guess. And first things first, this head scan, honestly, I dig it. For a first time head scan, he's kind of a goofy guy. Not a terrible head scan at all, as you could tell. right there. He's got a little tattoo that actually connects on the side here. I can't say I'll be able to zoom in too well and get a perfect view of what it actually says, but when I look at it close on camera, oh, it says son of a gun, which is kind of funnily ironic there. But he's got a lot of little tattoos like that all around. Burning daylight right there on the forearm. He's got one that actually matches with his brother over here underneath the arm, and it says say when. He's got the gun club logo right there, along with many a different tattoos. I do like the little tattoos here. I don't know exactly if they're supposed to represent anything in like particular or what. I mean, I'm sure maybe you could make a reference to John Wayne here at the top. I don't know if you can or if they could legally do that though, but you know, nonetheless, it don't really matter. Colten might just hold you at gunpoint and shoot you down where you stand. But getting into the attire, it's fairly similar on both guys, I want to say. Like, the little zebra patterns and stuff like that might be a little bit different, but as far as it goes, they're both wearing bandana themed gear with the little silver zebra stripes. You've got the gun on the front with the two ends written in blue. Really nice detailing here. You've got boots kind of similar enough to his father. Says gun on both boots with a nice little black lining on the top of the sole there. Looking really nice and neat. I can't complain too much. And I mean, as far as the articulation goes, you might not get the greatest big boot out of these guys, but I'm sure if you really needed to, you'll get a nice decent little gut kick there. His ab crunch isn't too bad. He's got upper thigh cut, you know what I mean? Got that nice double jointed knee. Speaking of double jointed, he's got double jointed arms. He's got shoulder articulation, upper bicep swivel, wrist swivel, along with wrist articulation. And this also, of course, goes for his brother in Colten Gunn. So don't get it twisted. These guys do articulate pretty well. I want to say he's also got some boot articulation, but it's not working for me on the one side, but it is kind of working on the other. It's just stiff and it's hard to do it with one hand. No diddy. But either way, with all that being said, why don't we get into his brother now, who has a little bit of a different look, as where Colten has a similar boot style to his father. Colten kind of has more of the standard traditional boot style. Still got the guns written on the side. Still got the black line here on the top of the sole, though mine doesn't look as good on the one side as it does on the other, but that little fine detail is not the worst case there, though. I can say, actually, yeah, the zebra patterns are different, like in different spots on Colten Gunn's version of his tights. So they do match, but they are still different nonetheless. His crotch piece is a little loose, which concerns me a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't pop open and, you know, try to do anything stupid. But he's got a little decent kick forward, you know. Nothing too bad. I can't get this upper thigh cut to work on either leg here on camera, so that's gonna be fun. Oh, there we go. I got it to work there. Like I said, he does have a lot of the similar articulation points to his brother. Don't forget about the ankle articulation on top of that, because I did kind of forget to mention that with Colten. But if you guys are fans of AEW figures, you would have known that already. Either way, looking really good and clean on the attire. Got the nice armband here. Something, honestly, I kind of wouldn't mind picking up an extra set of these, so then I could swap an armband onto Colten and maybe just kind of have like a mix and match there, because I feel like that'd be kind of neat if I could. But nonetheless, it doesn't really matter, as we've got some nice tattooing here, as it does look really nice. I just don't know what the fuck it's supposed to be, if I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't also really taken the time to look at it either, so I'm not too sure. But he's got the Gun Club logo here, and a couple of other logos. I can't really exactly tell. I also can tell you my earpiece is falling out, so give me a quick second there. Holy shit. I could just feel it slowly sliding out of my ear, and it was irritating the shit out of me. But he's got some bullets down here and a couple other logos, as I did mention. I don't know what they're supposed to be of. And there we go. I got the shoulder to move up high enough. I still don't know what they're supposed to be. Like, well, I can now tell that the one thing in the middle is actually a tattoo that's supposed to connect together, but they do not make that very easy. And if it doesn't connect together, I'm confused. Like, straight up genuinely confused there. But as I did mention, he's got the Say When tattoo matching with his brother, and I think those are all of his tattoos just right there on the one side. Not terrible. I wish I could actually understand what is on his forearm here, as I really don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. I might have to look at some pictures of Colten Gunn's tattoos to actually figure that out, but whether or not it matters, I don't know. But what does matter is the fact that he looks so much like his dad with a man bun, and it's kind of scary, to be honest with you. Like, you've got the brother here that looks like his father, and then you've got the brother that pretty much dresses more like his father, I guess you could say, at least in ring-wise. They both kind of dress enough like their father, but I don't know, it's just the like matching boots and stuff. It's weird. It really is weird to think about, but I digress. He's got some earrings in his ears, some really nice details as far as the eye can see. And with all that being said, why don't we get them into their final pose and we can kind of just end this action figure review. Well, alrighty, you guys, now that we've got the Gun Club all posed up with Bullet Club gold, all I can really say when it comes down to these figures at the end of the day is they're not a bad set to get at all, especially if you're trying to like maybe fill out some of your AEW tag teams. You want some extra teams out there and stuff like that. This might be actually a nice little pickup for you to grab, especially with how decently cheap they are. I know on Ringside I want to say they're both $14.99 a piece, which honestly is not bad considering they do pose around pretty well, especially considering the amount of accessories you get with the two as well. They're not too bad for the price point right now. I could definitely highly recommend picking up these figures for that price point. If you were picking them up for anything else, I don't know, but if you guys can get these for a steal, I don't see why you don't make that deal, unless you don't like them, which, I mean, fair enough. Nonetheless, I can't say I blame you there. But with all that being said, why don't we get into ranking both of these men on that good old scale of 1 to 10? And well, when it comes down to it, both of these men have their own unique fixtures about them that I like. Colten comes with a little bit more accessories. He's got unique boots compared to his brother, which is always a nice touch. Both of these men have technically unique gears all around, even though they are matching, which is quite a nice thing to see. Colten Gunn, he's got the armband or the arm sleeve, which is a nice touch, something his brother doesn't have. And I want to say something I don't think I mentioned earlier, but I want to say both of these men have their own unique torsos as well. So it's not like they just printed out one copy, practically reused it, swapped the boots, gave us different heads, gave us different tattoo deco, and called it a day. No, these are two completely different formulas, I want to say, which actually, looking at them, yeah, I think they actually are two different torsos here. I want to say his torso's a little bit more ripped up, a little bit more defined maybe. I don't know exactly how to put it, but they also could have the same torso, and I might just be putting a little bit of a spin on that doesn't even need the spin. But like I said, on a good old scale of 9 to 10, what would I rank these figures? And well, honestly, if I'm just being quite honest here, I think they both are pretty almost even. Like, I'm kind of teeter-tottering on if I want to give them both the same ranking or not, because Colten does come with extra accessories, so I feel like that should at least earn him an extra half a point over his brother. Though, if I'm gonna be honest, his brother also does have a better head scan. I don't know. I think for right now, we'll say that Colten is a good solid. I think he's gonna be a good solid 8.5 out of 10. My reason why is mainly the head scan. I don't really care for it. It's a little too goofy for me. He's a goofy guy, so I don't mind it as much, but a little bit more of a standard smirking face, maybe like his brother over here, or just a standard straight face expression, never hurts, so I don't see why you wouldn't just give us that, though it kind of works because Juice has the goofy scan, and well, I mean, Jay's base scan is it's a little eye there, I guess. It's kind of like the mixture of goofy and serious. I don't know, like his brother, yeah, he's smirking, but I do like this head scan just a little bit better than I like this head scan. I don't know, maybe it's because of the way the eyes are. If the eyes weren't so like far to the right, I wouldn't mind it as much. And honestly, I don't know, I kind of taking a closer look at that, I don't think my eyes are misprinted either, so I don't know, maybe you guys can look at that and you guys could tell, but as far as I can see, it doesn't look like the eyes are misprinted. They are just looking over to the right. So yeah, weird, but not weird enough to say it's a bad figure, which I'm not going to, but either way, 8.5 out of 10 I think is pretty solid, and for his brother, I'm gonna give him a good solid 8. Nothing bad at all, honestly, just maybe could have used like a jacket or some shit, maybe his own bandana would have been cool, but sadly we did not get that, and instead we just got an extra set of hands and the title belt. At least Colten gets the glasses that barely fit his face and the headband, so Colten can get the extra point. But either way, with all that being said, we do technically still have that good old Dave Meltzer star scale ranking, and well, honestly, this is the one where I can kind of get away with giving them both the same scale ranking. And with that being said, I'm going to give them both a good solid 3 out of 5 stars. Nothing too terrible, but honestly, it could have been a little bit better on both ends. But with that being said, I don't really have much else to say. So if you guys would like to, feel free to like the video if you guys liked the video. If you guys didn't like the video, well, womp womp, I guess. But if you guys did like the video, feel free to, maybe check out some of my other action figure content. Whew, I'm a little EPM, sorry there. Sleepiness is hitting hard, but like I was saying, if you guys would like to, feel free to go check out some of my other videos here. We've got plenty of stuff for you guys to check out, from pick fed stuff, the reviews, you name it. We probably have it on here, as long as it pertains to wrestling action figures, except for like maybe action figure news, because I don't really care enough to do all that. But yeah, I guess with that being said, before we do go, if you guys could, feel free to subscribe. After all, it is free to subscribe, and we are on the road to 500 subscribers. Of course, as of recording this, it is already my birthday, so if you guys watched long enough, feel free to say happy birthday in the comments down below. If you don't, I don't really care if you guys do or don't, but feel free to do that. I might put it in the title too or something like that, just to kind of throw it out there. But yeah, we're currently sitting at 466 subs right now, so we are really damn close to getting to 500. God, I can't stop yawning. But speaking of can't stop, I can't stop this grind, especially if we don't get to 500. If we don't, I know we will, but it's more or less, if we don't get to it by maybe like a certain point, it's more or less just what will I have to evaluate or something like that. I don't know where the fuck I was getting at with that realistically, but hopefully, if anything, maybe we can hit that by Christmas. If not, womp womp, I guess. Maybe you'll have to switch the formula up a little bit, as I was mentioning, even though I'm more like the Green Goblin here. We're gonna go back to formula. I'm just gonna throw you through a glass window. If you guys get what I'm saying there, I don't know if you guys watched that good Spider-Man movie or not. I'm not saying any of the other Spider-Man aren't good or bad. I just forever will be a Sam Raimi boy, if you understand. Anywho, I've rambled on long enough. Have a good rest of your day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I don't know, because I'm not in your time zone. But either way, deuces, ooses, yay!